Soro regenerativo fraco. Recupera instantaneamente 300 pontos de vida. Depois mais 150 pontos em 15 segundos. Tratamento.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Descanse. Se tem como sair aqui? Não. Se eu faço aquela secundária ali.
It's locked, all right.
Será que é nessa caixa?
It's locked.
Parece ser nessa caixa.
I cannot enter.
Deixa eu dar mais uma rodada nesse hospital, cara. O que é isso aqui? Passei por aqui, nem tinha visto, cara. Serra rosada.
It's locked.
Vamos subir mais. Não. Só que não. Tô querendo. Eu quero fazer aquela secundária, não sei se eu sou obrigado a fazer depois. Vamos ver se eu acho algum item aqui.
It's locked, all right.
I wish I could be sick again. Disguised as a blood boil with the fever. That's Pembroke nowadays.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
It's locked.
O que tem de porta fechada aqui?
Disguised as a hospital. That's Pembroke nowadays.
Por misericórdia, eles precisam de vocês. Não tô conseguindo fazer. É lá mesmo, aqui embaixo já indica que para subir é nesse andar aqui. Não tem jeito, eu não consegui abrir a caixa. Eu tenho uma chave. Essa chave aqui é de onde, cara? Tem mais duas pistas. Será que é conversando com alguém, cara?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Quem é você? Afinal, só tem essa aqui. De bloqueio.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Não tem mais como perguntar nada. Check-up médico. Enfeitiçar. Eu tenho como... Pressione para informações. mais pergunta nenhuma. Requer uma pista.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Pista, cara. Achei isso muito.
Pain. It's here again.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Conversar com o povo, né? Círculo pessoal. Vamos começar com pergunta pessoal, né? Requer uma pista.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Deixa eu ver o que eu posso fazer aqui.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Então você é uma pessoa difícil de conversar, né? Bom, não tenho mais perguntas para fazer. Perguntas pessoais. Vamos tentar. Não posso. Pista.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Deixa eu ver. Descanse. Tá, deixa eu ver se eu consigo conversar com mais alguém.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd.
Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Abusadinho você. Abusadinho. Sua vida em Londres, né? Conversa. Qual sua visão como médico do
Since your
hospital?
tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Só posso fazer essa, então.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Perguntas pessoais. Tem duas que eu posso fazer.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Acho que foi esse cara aqui que a Antonieta não gostou.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Vamos parar por enquanto, né?
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Caraca, um monte de gente pra conversar, mano.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Quem é você? Dorothy Crane. Tá cheia de sangue, hein, tia? Sorte sua que essa é a primeira vez que eu vou jogar na paz, hein? posso fazer pergunta nenhuma a você?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Uma é cheia de segredo.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
Vamos ver
As for
aqui.
me,
Deixa eu ver se tem mais alguém dentro desse hospital pra falar. Acho que tem lá lá na frente. Pera aí. Ah, você já falei. Então vocês dois estão conversando. Será que você sabe alguma coisa dela?
Hey,
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
unless you're here to fix my face, no. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Quem é você? Tem uma pista dele. Vamos ver se eu consigo mais alguma coisa de você, garotão. Pista dos cidadãos. Como vampiro, você pode forçar um cidadão a revelar informações graças a uma pista que tenha descoberto. Ah, tá. Ah, tá. Fica em destaque. Caraca. Vamos cozinhar um galo por enquanto, né?
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Agora eu vou forçar você.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Não consegui nada do cara. Posso enfeitiçar.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Pensei que você fosse falar alguma coisa da mulher.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Ah, tem uma mão, aquilo ali é uma mão. Então, para eu poder enfeitiçar ele, eu preciso ter nível 6 ou superior, né? Por que que esse aqui tem fadiga? Menu de cidadão. Menu de cidadão hospital. Menu hospital.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Então, mulher.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Perguntas pessoais eu posso fazer.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Bom, esse cara vai acabar se transformando em vampiro, né? O cara pegou o sangue dele. Se o outro cara for também.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
The pain. There again.
Queria achar uma pista daquela mulher ali.
It's locked, all right.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily
Isso eu já conversei, né, mano?
But the suffering continues.
Ver se for alguém aqui fora, cara, algum médico, alguma coisa. Tô querendo fazer aquela secundária lá.
Less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count on you. I wish...
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible
A
times.
mulher doidinha ali atrás. Não
Actually,
consegue
yes.
sair.
We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
É fácil de influenciar ele. Cara, um monte de pista, cara. Um monte de pista, cara.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Another night of the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Já tenho duas pistas sobre ele. Ou pode ser esse aqui que o Antonito não gostou. Vamos ver o que eu descubro de você, cara. Deixa eu ver um negócio aqui. Estado de saúde saudável. Ah, tá. Verde é o que, cara? Vamos cozinhar o galo, né? Ah, já posso forçar ele a falar porque ele tem reputação ruim, mas vamos cozinhar o galo.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Safadinha. Não, ele não tá contrabandeando a arma. O que eu faço aqui? Então já sei que você arruma um dinheirinho no hospital, né?
I'd like to see your goods. Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
O cara é meio que um contrabandista ali no hospital. Espingarda do Milton. Munição. Componente comum de gatilho. Eu nem sei quanto que dinheiro eu tenho. Ah tá, 105 só. Tô com pouco dinheiro, tá? Pô, o cara ganha dinheiro no hospital. Como se não acontecesse isso na vida real. Isso eu já falei, né? Já. Falei com você, mulher. Não sei se eu falei com você não. Hein?
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Eu tenho uma pista. Vamos descobrir por que o cara tem tanta admiração por ela.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Mesmo que soubesse que o cara é ruim, ela não iria falar.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Ah, tá. O cara não sabe parar de trabalhar, não sabe o limite, desembuche.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Eu vou voltar no médico para ver se eu posso fazer mais alguma coisa.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Nada. Abriu aqui, ó.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Por enquanto não tem mais nada.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Consegui nada. Ele vai conversar com a mulher e vai me ferrar, né? Vamos ver se que vai ser, amor.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Ai, a mulher. Não tem nada.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Cara, conversei. Descubra quem está esperando. Ainda não. Bom. Não consegui não. Acho que eu já falei com todo mundo. Falei com você, ô...
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Já falei.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. It's locked, all right.
Descansando. Habilidades passivas, habilidades ativas. Coagulação. Isso aqui parece interessante. 600 pontos, velho. Quantos? 600. Vou passar.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals.
Ajudar o hospital.
What about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Bom, por enquanto eu não consigo fazer aquela secundária, né?
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Bicho ali. Porcaria, aquela ali, um bicho comendo o cara. Ah não, estão cavando. fotografia.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Deixa eu entrar aqui pra ver. Pensei que essa arma tivesse um tiro mais forte, cara. Pensei que o tiro fosse mais forte. Apelidada de berradora. Pouco precisa e com um pente personalizado. Ela é feita para abrir vários buracos bem grandes em um alvo que esteja correndo para cima ou para longe do usuário. Para ser enterrado com ela, para ser capaz de matar caso algum vampiro viesse oferecer o venenoso dom da imortalidade. Porém, a arma foi misteriosamente roubada antes do funeral. 5 cartuchos, atordoamento 10. Deixa eu ver aqui um negócio. Tempo de recarga, cartucho, atordoamento 10. Tempo de recarga. Para 160 de dano. Só tem 2 cartuchos também. 6. 54. Então, assim mesmo. Pra que o jogo permite que isso possa posso entrar. Ué? Caraca, eu voltei com o chutão.
I cannot enter.
Falta pra entrar pelos fundos, né? Velho necrotério. Encontre ingredientes medicinais utilizáveis no antigo necrotério. Encontre um pouco de... Quê? Tartarato veneno ferroso. Encontre um pouco de quinina. Encontre um pouco de hipoclorito de sódio. Bom, vamos atrás desses trecos aí. Deixa eu ver quantos tiros eu tenho. Tem que economizar. Aqui é a saída. Eu percebi que tinha apertado o botão. Tem que voltar lá, né? Pegar um pouquinho de água ali, rapidinho. Beleza, ainda vou ter que descer mesmo. Ou subir. Cara, eu vou descer. Eu vou descer.
It's locked, all right.
Fechado. Furtivo. A longa distância. Ah, tá. Então não adianta de longa distância.
Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Já peguei um.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Beleza. Espingarda.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
que usar... Eu só veio um. Precisava ter usado não.
It's locked.
Tem que descer. Vixe. Ah, vou ter que descer mais. Pera aí, então vou acabar de subir. Agora vamos descer. Tem três, cara.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. Cartucho de espingarda, acho que eu não tenho espingarda. Aquele comando ali de ponta é 2. Acho não, né? Certeza. Ah, tem outra ali. Tentar pegar aquele ali primeiro. Consegui.
cravada. Mais uma vez, né? Faca Lisboa. Olha o que é isso. Faca Linston. Autofagia, névoa sombria. Pô, essa névoa sombria, não, ainda não entendi como é que joga nos pés do inimigo.
It's locked.
Fechado. Investigações locais. Uma nova investigação de cidadão está disponível, aperte.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report.
Nova pista.
I'd better look into this. These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Soltou nada pra mim, não?
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Ah, tá, já entendi. Vamos ver o que eu posso mexer aqui. Fabricar. Tô com um pouquinho de energia. Pelo menos tem pouco, né? Pô, tá vivo ainda, velho? Tá vivo ainda? Vamos pro hospital.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Ah, eu descobri segredo sobre, acho que essa moleque.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital. That's a Pembroke nowadays.
Cadê a mulher? É a mulher e o médico, ali. Então de segredinho, vocês são um casalzinho, né?
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Vocês são casalzinho. Não liberou nada.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Tem nada. Vamos ver se a mulher desembucha alguma coisa. Você, mulher, vem cá.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Você tá de casa com o cara, hein?
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Não, não tinha feito isso. Nada.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Pensei que tivesse liberado alguma coisa. Pra onde?
In circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Doenças reduzem a qualidade do sangue de um cidadão. Trata-se
I will not let you down, my boy. You always do the worst to kind children, though. As for me, what a blundering idiot. Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Saudável. Posso perguntar nada.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ella. As for me,
Vamos lá falar com o cara, né? Tentação do sangue. Lembre-se, o sangue dos cidadãos concede um grande bom de experiência. Procure por cidadãos do seu mesmo nível de enfeitiçar ou inferior e escolha um com cuidado. Mas essa é a primeira vez que eu tô jogando, eu vou fazer isso.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Tem que subir.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea. But my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies
transfusions.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Tem nada aqui não? Carta de...
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
Sei não, cara. Mas
the world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient, or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Será que é o cara? O cara que tem bastante de dinheiro, aquele outro maluco. Esqueci o nome, acho que é Milton.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, Your Ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition, with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Parece justo. Vamos lá. Converse com... Vamos lá conversar com a mulher.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
So little result.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Tem que descer. Não, tem um que é ali dentro. Pera aí. Ela some, cara. Lá embaixo, então.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. Taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is... nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Bom, antes de prosseguir, eu vou voltar. Ver se eu recarrego a arma. Tá com cheiro de treta. Deixa eu ali pra baixo. Tinha que achar rato, cara. Se aumenta a energia.
You are going to reveal all.
Contra a enfermeira.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Don't worry, sir. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Don't waste your time with me.
Yes, okay.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Pô, mulher, é difícil.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Você é riquinha, né?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Ah, conseguiu a cama porque eu já sei que o tal do... Acho que é Milton o nome dele. Ele tem um esqueminha no hospital que vende cama, esses tipos de coisa, lugar, né? E com certeza a mulher pagou e ele arrumou uma cama. Mas já envolveu outra pessoa. Isso indica que ele não trabalha sozinho. Provavelmente tem alguma enfermeira que faz a ajuda de alguma forma. Ela lhe cobrou, sei como se sente. Deixa eu perguntar se ela cobrou.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Doenças. Ele tem fadiga. Tratamento para fadiga. Eu tenho a cura. Curar. Um cidadão aumentará a qualidade do sangue, lhe fornecerá recompensas de experiência ou estado de saúde. Ah, beleza.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Coswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Já tinha falado isso. Tá, como é que eu faço para poder... R1?
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Dei o remédio, cara. E tem que achar a moleca. Milton. Cara, essa enfermeira tá onde, maluco? Cara, essa enfermeira está onde?
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, oh, I like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
O cara tava todo ferrado.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. It still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
He's gone to death so many times. Oswald.
Caraca, tem que conversar com todo mundo. Acho que ali em cima não foi não. Espionar.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I ought to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Perdi o item. Estranho, cara. Tinha que ter esperado um pouco, né? Tô com pouca energia, cara. Tomara que ache rato aqui. Vai dar 11 horas. Ou um esconderijo, né, cara?
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor. Vai me dar trabalho aqui. Tem que ficar o jogo todo se encostando no imóvel, né? Deixa eu ver o que é o negócio. Tem um monte ali embaixo. Ah, tá aqui, beleza. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
Do jogo, né? Os ratos ficam
despicable.
Dando respawn. Tá com jeito. Ué. Acho que não, acho que só aparece.
What sort of creature is this?
Não, cara, tá no final. Filho da mãe.
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
Esperar, né? Vou precisar aqui pelo jeito.
I can't believe
Eu
I'm
acho que isso aqui é um
doing this.
defeito do jogo, né? Fica dando respawn já. Ah, peraí. Deve ter alguma. Acho que não tem.
I have this
Então bora lá, se consegue matar ele agora.
for blood. What sort of creature is this?
Tá pelado. Não. Ah, fala sério, cara.
can't believe I'm doing this.
Ah, meu filho.
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. What sort of creature is this?
Nossa, maluco. Claro que isso aqui não é Bloodborne não, cara. Pô, hora que ele não bate, cara, que fogo. Esquiva, cara. Nossa, essa mãozada aqui é fogo. Não sei. Ele é vulnerável. O que eu posso fazer nele?
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Tem uma habilidade aqui. Descanse para evoluir.
I have this thirst for blood.
Dá pra matar ele.
What sort of creature is this?
Difícil esquiva. Ei, cabrão.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway. Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Deixou nada não, pô? Bora.
This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. is despicable.
Acho que dá pra sair agora. Deixa eu ver se aqui atrás leva a algum lugar diferente. Esqueci, cara. Nada. Salvar cidadão, cuidado. O cidadão em perigo pode não sobreviver mais uma noite. Vai examiná-lo.
Don't want to die here. I want to see the sky, feel the fresh air.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Não tem diálogo nenhum. Acho que ele tá doente. Tá doente. Falei, cafalé. Não tenho cura pra você. Você resgatou um cidadão. Ele vai voltar para o distrito dele na noite seguinte. Beleza. Vou voltar lá, vou evoluir o que tiver de evoluir e vou dar uma parada. Nível 12, que bicho tá louco. Cara, tem um ali nível 12. velho.
Sir! Step away! Are you deaf?
Que parte do mapa é essa aqui, cara?
Stay away!
Nível 13, vou encarar não. Meteu o pé. Vamos voltar lá pra evoluir. Depois a gente resolve aquele problema. Cadê o cara, acho? Precisa evoluir. Vá até... Deixa eu ver aqui primeiro. Soro. Recupera instantaneamente 300 pontos de vida depois. Melhorar aqui. Serra. Componente comum de empunhadura. Acho que eu já vi isso em algum lugar. Componente comum de empunhadura. Táticas. Já. O que é isso aqui? Recuperação. ser útil isso aqui. Preciso de materiais. Autofagia. Eu não gostei daquilo ali, cara. Arremessa uma lança feita de sangue que atravessa os inimigos à sua frente. Um golpe de curto alcance que corta todos os seres vivos à sua frente. Por serem predadores naturais, os vampiros receberam dádivas da mãe natureza, tais como garras ao invés de unhas. Acho que isso aqui pode ser mais interessante. $220 de dano. 1000. Carinho isso aqui, hein? Um golpe de cortar o alcance. Agressivas, táticas. Vamos ver aqui agora. Tem um doente. Aqui esse cara tá doente. Mesma coisa, esse aqui é fadiga. Pô, pulou por 9. Bom, eu vou encerrar por aqui.